What's going on? What's going on? Brutus here, bringing you another OneHive War Recap video where we had a random match against CWL, or Champions War League clan, Just Clash Maui. And I don't know if they're from Maui, but I'm from Hawaii, for those of you that don't know. I'm from the island of Oahu. And born in Kuku. So if you guys are from Maui and Lahaina and all that good stuff, if they are from Maui, that's awesome, you know. Anyway, I thought that was kind of cool that we got to war against them. Breakdown for this was not exactly even either, but it was pretty close. Either way, it was 86 to 80. Total destruction 95 to 90%. And Just Clash Maui doubled our top three Town Hall 11s and left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Town Hall 10s uncleared. Excuse me. And then for OneHive, we doubled the top three Town Hall 11s and left 1 Town Hall 10 uncleared. Now, don't think it's all because of dips, because it wasn't. In fact, there was... what was it? There was Fabian... Fabian was 10. Indicut is a fresh 11. We got 3. Pero went off this war. 3 10-on-10s. And I think Rahi is on Nick was a 10 9.5, if I'm not mistaken. So Rahi is a 10. Let's just scout it real fast. Yep, 9.5. So that's where it ends right there. So 3 Town Hall 10s, which we'll use as the backdrop for, rather than talking about the raids themselves. I've never done a, let's just push play and then talk through it. And I'll use these nice 10-on-10 threes from the war, as well as some pre-selected 9s as the backdrop. So without further ado, let's just do that. There has been a ton of update thought videos. I've never done one. Never had any desire to do any of them. However, I've been asked, like some people have asked me questions about the update through other channels of communication, not only on the channel, but through messaging applications, in-game as well. And I like hearing what other people think about it as well. So, and I watched a lot of the recaps from different people and what their take was on the update, and I know that the vibe of the war community is, quote, loons are broken, Town Hall 9 is broken, things like that, and I disagree, and I thought maybe I could use this war to help illustrate my point while I call out a few mathematical statistical facts supporting why I feel that way, rather than just emotional, it's broke, man, loons are everywhere, stuff like that. So, without further ado, really nice 2 clears from Pero on this. And we have what the update was about. We have two huts on the corners here that he has minions for. It was primarily update focused for 10s and 11s. I won't go through all the details that it was, but I'll go down through the 3 town halls that were greatly impacted by this. No disrespect to 8s or 7s, but your life as an 8 or 7 shouldn't last very long. The updates take they're too easy to get. Loot's everywhere. It's easy to get, and you just shouldn't stay at 8 very long. 8 prepares you for 9. And so on and so forth. 9 prepares you for 10. 10 prepares you for the raping of Town Hall 11. Nice job, Pero. We'll get out of here. So with that said, so with the 11s, let's talk about the clone spell. Prior to the update, you couldn't. The clone spell was for true spell count. It was basically way too expensive, and you get it at Town Hall 10. And I've seen it work in some, Clash with Ash. He had a great video with a Bomiklo, with the Bowlers Miners clone in the core, and he had like a great video when that was like the meta, when the Boner was the meta out there. It was actually before that even happened. But I've seen basically the takeaways. I've seen the clone spell in strategies be viable. However, in the war scene, as just as the meta changes and things like that, it just flat out is too expensive to utilize. You're giving away 2 elixir spells, 4 spell slots. That's a lot. at the Town Hall 10 game when you're trying to clear. So in summation, the return on investment to use a clone spell at Town Hall 10 specifically was just way too expensive. And then you get up to Town Hall 11, and then you have that max clone spell. You have that max clone spell, and then it becomes even a little bit more viable. But at the end of the day, there's just more. When I say cheap, I'm not talking about the cost of the elixir. I'm talking about troop space as well as spell count. It's still, there was other strategies out there that couldn't justify the cost of that spell. You just didn't see it as much, right? So now the update with the CC, only CC, enabling Town Hall 11s to bring an elixir spell being donated to them. And I like that it was only available to Town Hall 11. I do like that. And it enabled them to bring an elixir spell in the CC. And this basically opened up the door for experimentation of the clone spell. We've already seen some of it. Powerbang put out one. Respect out to you, buddy, and everything that you're doing for the Champions War League and all the work that you do. Really enjoy that. And I know how much time is involved with that. So, well, actually, I don't. I can only fathom a little bit with the small amounts that I do. So thank you. But he put out a video out there about the use of the clone spell. And I suspect we're going to see a little bit more of the clone spell at the upper levels, especially with Lalo. I suspect it's going to come out. Somebody's going to keep experimenting with it, and we might see it a little bit more. So I'm excited about that on Town Hall 11. Also, I got my notes here. Let's see what else I had here. The walls being just a few. I don't like the... So I don't understand what the walls were for. Either you give them a whole new level for the entire Town Hall 11s to waste their resources on, or I don't understand what just the 50 were for. And I think Powerbang alluded to... Hold up, this is a dip. We'll get out of here. Powerbang alluded to that they're going to have some utility moving forward. I like that idea. I really like that idea. I don't know what it is, but I kind of like that idea. The only part that I don't like about it is that it's only 50, but I guess they're trying to gauge that out, what that utility might be. So I'm interested to see what the utility is going to be for the walls. Maybe that'll justify the reason why they only given 50 right away. So that's basically it. So in summation for Town Hall 11, I really like the CC. I think it encourages use of the clone spell. I also like that it didn't introduce a new troop. I don't think we need more offense. I think we need balancing at Town Hall 11. At the end of the day, Town Hall 11 is still wicked hard. It is still wicked hard. So then in lies the other update of what they tried to do to help balance Town Hall 11 and 10, and then subsequently as collateral damage impacted 9s. So we look at the new levels. The Golem, good idea. Because you're trying to give yourself more time for ground, kill squad, phased attacks, pushes, and things like that, right? And the DPS levels of the Town Hall 11 were just ridiculous. So the increased Golem, I like. I think that's awesome. The increased attack rate of the dragons and the loons as well. I think those changes that they did to the offensive troops. I mean, think about the troops prior to the update. Witches, P.E.K.K.A. You didn't really use them. I mean, especially at that level. We only recently started to see the use of P.E.K.K.A. at Town Hall 10 on a regular basis. At least people are starting to come around to see its utility on that. So I think that their way to try to support or encourage variety of attacks at Town Hall 11 and 10, they hit the mark with P.E.K.K.A.'s, witches, the loons, the dragons. Those tweaks that they did, I do think is going to positively impact the quality of life gameplay at Town Hall 10 and 11. I think, with that being said, that Town Hall 11 is still in need of some love. I don't think it's quite balanced yet. I do think that, but it made a positive step in the right direction there. With Town Hall 10s, I think is probably the closest to being balanced it ever has been in the entire life of this game. And before you throw eggs at me, hear me out. Let's talk about, this is actually going to segue into Town Hall 9 as well. Let's talk about hit rates. Okay, prior to the update, and I'm going to use Champions War League as an example. The hit rates for Town Hall 11 was in the teens, if that. I think there's only been one Town Hall 11 3-star in all of Champions War League play. I could be wrong, there might be two. Let me get another one going here. That was Rahi. That was Fabian. We did those two. Let's go down to 16 and look at, I got 3 more here. And this won't be too long. Neb doing a Zapquake Lalo. But think about the hit rates before the update, Champions War League. Town Hall 10s was in the... Oh, my baby's out of the shower and she's cold. The Town Hall 10s were in the 30s. At 30% hit rate. Town Hall 9s is as much as everybody, and it's a pet peeve of mine that people do this. They're all like, Town Hall 9 is so easy, it's broken. You can 3 all day, every day. I 100% disagree with you. If that was the case... The Champions War League, the best of the best, right? 3-star attackers across the war community, they're not averaging 100% hit rates. No one is. Not even Quay, love him to death. Quay was close. Quay had, I think he was 12 for 12 in the Champions War League, leading the way, and then he failed on 1 attack. So what I'm saying is, if it really was that easy and oh my gosh, why are you failing? We would see 100% hit rate success. We don't. We see 50%. And in my opinion, it should be like that. I think people confuse the variety of attack with success. What I mean by that is Town Hall 9 is by far the most variety of attacks that you can use to 3-star a base. But I have yet to see a base that can defend everything well. Think about that. Defend everything. You can make something anti-Lalo, but then you're going to come in with the hogs and just crush it, right? You can, I think in other base building videos that you watch and see and discuss, they tell you, a good rule of thumb, and any base builder that's great at it will tell you, you strengthen one side, you weaken another. And if you try to take away from the strength of that other side to try to compensate for the weaken of the other side, you there inside just took away some strength from one side. At the end of the day, there is no perfect base. But that is the, if there was, it would defend and every single Town Hall 9 attack. But at the end of the day, because there's so many variety of attacks, we can clear Town Hall 9s maybe on the 2nd or 3rd hit because one tweak is all it really needs. Now that to me is the sign of perfect balance. That it is, you have all these tools to use to take down a base, but it's not a guarantee. One small mistake and it's done. Then you come back in with a different variation that's available to you at that Town Hall level and you clear it. But that created an illusion of it's easy. Oh, it's not. It is not easy. At least I'm not of that opinion at all. So let's talk about Town Hall 10. So with Town Hall 10 being about 30%, I've already seen it in wars and felt it in other random wars that we come across. You might have experienced it yourself as we go down to number 19 with GWA doing a balloon parade, 38 loons, is the added things that they did to troops, key troops. No one said that loons were broken at Town Hall 9. No one did. But that buff that they did to loons wasn't meant for Town Hall 9. It was meant for 10s. And the outcome of that, you guys seen it. There is a lot of 3s that we're seeing nowadays, comparatively prior to the update. And they're not guaranteed. We see 3s by people that are really skilled at Town Hall 10 getting it done. And I think that's why I'm of the belief that this change really, really helped out Town Hall 10s. And it's not quite what Town Hall 9 used to be 6 months ago, where it was perfect. I would use that word. It's damn near close, though, in my opinion. I do think that air is the meta now. And if you don't know how to loon, you probably should learn. But look at this witch in the CC. In the war that we have just now, we randomly match We Are Spartans, and I'll bring that in a different recap. There was witches in CCs now, and they can mess up. If you put 2 witches in a CC and the witches have more HPS, so that one poison and it immediately erases them, they can walk through it now and keep bringing up Larry's. I've seen it happen, absolutely wreck a walk because of the buff to the HPS of witches. They can walk through the poison. So let's look at my last things here. So in summation, post-update, Town Hall 10 was not as versatile as it could be. Think about the strategies that you used to bring down the base. Bowlers and miners. That's it. That was what you leaned on to take down the base. That was the meta. Every now and then you would see a Lalo, and Lalo has never been broken. Now, though, you're going to basically what Boner was back in the day and Mass Bowlers was back in the day, that's where Lalo takes over, except Lalo does require skill. You can't just balloon parade it out and just spam your troops and it'll clear. You have to have an attack plan and things like that. So let's pretend that you're not great with loons. A lot of us are not. Well, you still have Valkyries. You still have Vaho, Hobo. Those were still viable attacks, especially because they gave the extra level to Hogs for Town Hall 10. So that's what I mean that 10 now feels like what 9 used to, where there's not just one attack that you lean on. As we go to the last part of the replay for this, we got Godsbrowski. Basically that you don't have just 1 or 2 options or 3 options. That's a viable option you can look at to clear a base. At Town Hall 10, you got a lot more than you ever have been before. Vaho, Lalo, Hobo. You still can do Boner. That still works. Now you got Lalos. You got Zapquake Lalos. You got Larry Lalos. You got Bowler Lalos. You just got more versatility. And because of that, and before you guys think that I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm not a Town Hall 10, I do have a Town Hall 10. I have a Town Hall 8, a Town Hall 10, and a Town Hall 9. My 10 is rushed as fuck, so I definitely know about failing and what works. Because I can feel it at different levels. So that's just my experience. I do not have 40-40, and I'm not hitting maxed out Town Hall 10 bases, so you got me on that. But I'm only... I'm basing it upon watching the guys in OneHive, learning from them, and seeing the meta changes that way, and then also listening to the community and things like that is where I'm basing my opinions on. So with Town Hall 9, let's talk the closure on this since we're seeing a lot of loons on this. If Town Hall 9 was broken, you'd be able to spam your loons and not have any thought to a game plan, and it would 3. If you're doing that, I want to see what's on your device. Because I don't believe anybody in this game hitting true hardcore anti-Lalo bases can do that and say, it's easy, I don't need a plan, I can just YOLO it and it'll clear. I think people get lucky. Oh, baby. I think people get lucky. However, I do think that Lalo is a lot easier now, which gives the illusion that it's broken, but it's far from broken. And you're going to see that in the Champions War League. You're going to see that the hit rates of 50% thereabouts at Town Hall 9 are going to probably climb to about 80%. Does that mean it's broken? Heck no. That means I can still fail and I still have to put some process of thought to clear a base. And it just enabled me to make better scouts for 10s and play it forward. Then 10s can start down to getting 3s, play it forward, and they can start scouting for 11s, so on and so forth. So these are my... I think many people just take for granted how beautiful Town Hall 9 really is right now. Nothing is an auto 3, and I am happy that I'm able to have the creativity at Town Hall 9 that I can, and I'm excited that we're getting that creativity at Town Hall 10 now. Let's just stay positive with those things, and let's see if it can start make those tweaks for Town Hall 11s. Tiebreakers, closing thought, tiebreakers. People don't like tiebreakers, right? Here's my idea. So the tiebreaker about stars, let's pretend this is 86 to 86. The tiebreaker would go to us because we got 95.5 versus their 90. Well, what happens if you got 2 modding clans that perfect each other or non-modding clans? Who cares, right? What if you got 100% total destruction each side and then it's a draw? My idea is which side got more fresh hits than the other. And then on top of that, which one got to 100% before the other one? Because everybody knows the more pressure is more on the person that goes first, because then you know what the game board looks like, and you know what you have to do to counter in order to get the win. So my rebuttal to breaking tiebreakers: if it's 100% total destruction each side, which side got more fresh hit 3 stars should win that tiebreaker. And that's the closing thought. Hope you guys enjoyed the thoughts. I'm sorry if I irritated anybody. It's not my intent. Respect out the Clash, just Clash Maui. Once again, it's Brutus reminding you got to be better than a double, and I'll check you next time.